Kristen Dakamacari. Welcome to Unveiling Africa, one pretty face at a time. I'm so glad and honored to be in your presence, and I hope you are the same too. We promise to bring the very best of Africa to the world, and that's why I created Unveiling Africa. So, with that said, I'm going to introduce to you one of the most mogul media personality, not just in Nigeria, but internationally known as Bobby Taylor Media Productions, right? And also Bukky White. I love that name. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Bukky. I know you're mogul in the PR business. But tell us more a little bit about where you come from, because we're unveiling Africa. I like to let people know where in Africa, or Nigeria specifically, you come from. So on the map, we can place you there, okay?
Sure.
So tell us a little bit about your background.
All right, so my name is Bukky White, or some people call me Bukky George Taylor, whichever one's great. I was born in Lagos, Nigeria. My mom is Igbo from Onitsha, and my father is Yoruba from Ogun State. So I grew up here at a young age. I moved to the US. I went to the University of Massachusetts in Amherst. Decided to work corporate America in Washington, D.C. for a little bit. Then relocated to Canada, and then decided to come up with my company. I decided to found a communications agency. It was called the Bobby Taylor Company then. That's 25 years old.
Wow, congratulations.
And then we started seeing a bit of a void in the Nigerian market in terms of a need for real and proper communicators, trained communicators. And it's always been a thing of mine that, I want to be that agency that tells positive African stories, which is amazingly what you're doing, which is fantastic. Because
amen to that. Yes.
If we don't tell our stories, someone else will, and no one understands the way we do, because we're it, we live it, we breathe it, we experience it. And so I moved to Nigeria in 2007, started my company, and today we are going to be 13 years old.
Wow.
Giving away my age.
Congrats. That's
We're going to be 13 years old, September 25th. And on our 10th anniversary, actually, I decided to change the name from the Bobby Taylor Company to Robert Taylor Media. So if you know the name Robert, you know that the nickname or shorter form for Robert is Bobby. So 10 years old, I wanted to present a more mature agency, now covering everything from corporate comms to NGOs to lifestyle and to all of it. We've had a lot of experience here. We've worked everything from Arise Fashion Week to GT Fashion Week, to representing various global brands in the local market. We launched Estee Lauder, MAC Cosmetics at the time. Now we're the agency for Dubai Tourism here.
Wow.
And most recently, I decided to delve with two other wonderful gentlemen to open our own newspaper called the Lagos Today, which kind of covers stories and everything happening around Lagos City, which is my newest baby. It's a digital.
What was that name again? Because you kind of lost. What was the name of it?
The Lagos Today.
The Lagos Spirit?
Lagos Today.
Today, okay, Lagos Today. Okay,
like you wake up today, what's happening in Lagos.
Wow.
So that's fun. And I'm also a founder of a tech startup called Crawl. Crawl, Restaurant Crawl.
Okay.
And the reason I created this was because a lot of people are beginning to come into Africa.
Tell me about
that. A lot of people will definitely need guides on to find our local food, what our cities have to offer, what our beaches are like. A lot of people don't know that we have a lovely beach life in Nigeria.
Yes.
Private islands are available. museum where our art, where you can buy art, where you just different things. So that's going to be launching in October, which is our independence, the month of our independence.
Yes.
And we're introducing Crawl.
Congratulations.
You
ever get to sleep at all?
I try. But you know, when you love what you do, you kind of breathe it.
Yes.
You love what you do, you breathe it. So
yeah. So that's so fascinating because I've read so much about you. I've crawled the social media handles and everything, and I'm glad to hear today you introduced two new aspects of what you're doing, Crawl and Lagos Today, because I haven't heard them introduced. So I'm glad we did this because we're getting to know more about you.
And this is probably the first place that I've talked about it. So yes.
Yeah. But I wanted to quickly stick this in because it was very interesting the way we met on social media. And I must say, you are the epitome of, like perfection, because you were able to manage and navigate, get me some tickets to go watch a premiere right here in New York, all the way from Lagos. I mean, who does that? I mean,
oh my goodness, I totally forgot about that.
That's how I met you or knew about you.
I remember.
Yes. And what a beautiful movie that was. I'm so glad you gave me the opportunity to be a part of that.
No
with Kate Henshaw and the likes.
Yeah.
It was really well made. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So that shows your tenacity, your integrity, your the graciousness of what you do. And like you said, you sure love what you're doing. That because it's a passion. I can feel it. So now, with that being said, I usually like also my guests to translate or describe what their name means in their language. So I know your name is Bukky for short, but the real full meaning is Bukola, right?
Yes, Bukola. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what does that mean? Because sometimes our names also lead us or guide us through life. Indirectly we don't know that, but sometimes our names give us meanings.
So you know what? I really only know what my Igbo name means.
Oh, what's your Igbo name?
Okay. This child is worth more than gold, or worth
more
than gold. And I believe Olubukola is along those lines as well. I know Olu means God.
God, yeah.
And as long as there's the God in the name, I guess that's great. But yes, all Nigerian names have very, very strong meanings, and they're usually prayers that kind of guide you through life. And that's how deep we are as a people.
Correct.
Is that our names can determine what your life, is going to look like. So a lot of people are very careful when they're naming their children, so that every time someone says your name, it's almost like a blessing.
Again and again. Yeah, I like the way you put that. That's really, really awesome. Yeah. Now, I've heard you say that the ways to brand your name is to tell a story. Mm-hmm. Now, everyone has a story to tell, for real. And that's why I really created Unveiling Africa, because I had been here for almost 15 years, and there was nothing positive about Africa. Only the negativity. I'll hear about Nigeria, get excited, and then I come drop down because the next thing I say is a 419 issue or genocide or Kwashiorkor killing the poor children from Africa. And then I did an unsighted scientific study about Africa, and people were really very negative. No one wanted to be associated with Africa, not like today, where everyone, and this was like 10 years ago. So I guess I was ahead of my time, but I was preparing the way for days like this, times like this. So yeah, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
No, I'm saying to you, well done, because the platform such as yours is very, very needed. Things are deep and our strength is strong.
Yes.
There's a lot of positive stories out here. I can tell you hundreds of stories from Otto Arandam, who during COVID built a digital learning center for children in the creeks, supplying them with computers and everything. That was phenomenal. We have a lot of really, really strong people that are doing a lot of things to change Africa. And these are not the things that you hear about.
No.
I know that we have our negative sides, but then so does every country. But then the difference with every country and Nigeria and Africa is that we have not yet learned that every other country is telling their own narrative, and we need to do the same.
Correct.
Every country has a PR company. That's the reason why a country like a Dubai would look for a communicator in Nigeria to communicate their story.
Their story.
So my own question is, how many people have been contacted by Nigeria to communicate our positive stories in their markets? None. So we have a long way to go, and I believe that people are starting to see the importance of communications, the importance of public relations, how important tourism is, because the world is getting smaller thanks to social media. And you can see what music has done to connect Africa and the rest of the world. You know, so these are very interesting times. I'm so honored to be a part of this time. And there's just so much we can do. Definitely.
So with that said, you kind of answered the question before you even got the question. So you've got great minds think alike. Because I was going to say, how does that narrative, or how does that storytelling play into the Nigerian psyche? You know, like how would they embrace in this to really come out and tell their own story, not a story the way the Caucasians told us or the way other people have portrayed us, but how we portray ourselves. And you did a good job just answering that right now.
Yeah, and I mean, platforms such as yours is highly necessary, just for the global audience to see that, you know, we're not in a tree somewhere. We have people here that have achieved so much, absolutely so much.
Exist.
You have a company here that does a young guy that's put together a telemedicine company. We have just so many different things, even in our fashion space, in our music space. We have young politicians now interested in making a difference in the country. Right. We have a lot of returnees. A lot of people are moving back home to where they fit in, because this is the next big thing. Exactly. Africa is the next big thing. You know, when you look at how many Africans are doing such positive things around the world, imagine if everyone went back to their countries and were given the opportunity to do the same thing. That's why sometimes I wish, you know, we could have a new generation African Marcus Garvey and tell everyone to come back home and do something here. The fact of the matter is that we as Africans were highly intelligent. We adapt. We come from a world of strength. We come from families of strength. And I think it's also time for our government to really, really start to look at rewriting our history books in high school or in grade school. We have our own history. I mean, Nigeria was a British colony, so there's a bit of British history, or quite a bit of British history in our curriculum. But then there's African stories. And I think it's important that those stories are told. There's a reason why, you know, Nigeria has a national orientation agency. You have to continuously reorient Nigerians about how great the country is and what our wealth is. You know, if you start to see more positive story, even if you were a bad person, it's like, maybe it's not cool to be bad. Because everybody's doing big things, you know. You'd be shocked at the entrepreneurial spirit. Oh my God, Lagos is so alive. You wake up in the morning and people are moving. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to make a difference. Everybody's doing something. You know, if anyone decided to come here and actually did something on SMEs in Nigeria, they would be shocked. Absolutely shocked.
I agree. I totally agree.
A lot of industrious people here. A lot of industrious women.
I know. Yeah, the women especially. They are not playing.
No, they're not.
Look at you. Look at you. Yeah. So I have heard you say also that PR is a great medium, you know, to catapult one's business into stardom or megadom, like I say. And you have done that for some people. What challenges have you overcome in your career And how can you transform an obscure brand into an internationally well-known brand? What what steps or what positive moves can you make to help an obscure brand become globally?
Sure. I tell a lot of brands when they do approach me for branding or PR or even personalities looking for profiling is, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people in everyone's industry. And the big question there is, how do you stand out? How do you stand out? Be it by your branding, be it by your key messaging, and all of that. You have to stand out. You have to have different service offerings, and you need to know who your audience is. That's the beginning part, is who's your audience. Yeah. And then you now go into what kind of things are your audience listening to? What are they influenced by? For you to now start to figure out how to navigate your brand to play in their space. Communications is so important. Okay. Internally, for staff, a lot of people tend to forget PR and communications internally.
Yeah.
Your staff are your personal evangelists as well.
That's true.
And they are the ones executing. They must believe in what they're executing for it to translate.
Precisely.
Before you start to even, communicate globally. I also advise a lot of people to look into strategic partnerships. Mm-hmm. Partnering with someone in a different country on something will bring new customers, new ideas, and different things like that. So imagine if I had a skincare line made in Nigeria. I'm making my shea butters, I'm making my oils from coconuts and all of that. I might be interested in partnering with a global spa chain to introduce an African range of cosmetics, and then you'd be surprised where things go. So I think that, even in being a global brand or being known, that has become so easy for us thanks to social media.
Social media, yeah.
During this COVID, I swear, is the first time that I think that I would DM an international editor and they would answer. Wow. There's nowhere to go.
There's nowhere to go.
And so everyone was answering, and I was extremely intentional about that because during COVID, it was kind of a reawakening for me in that I love Nigeria, I love this space. We've done excellent work here. A lot of staff have passed through me and have been trained. Some have gone on to be the best version of themselves. Some are still here as part of my team. But now I'm interested in other Black women, not necessarily African even, but just other Black women who are in my field, and let's start to dialogue. Because I feel that if I build relationships across Africa, outside of Africa, with my Black women who are in the same field as mine, I can't imagine what would happen if I decided to send a press release to my entire network. It would go everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So I've been intentionally doing that. I've joined platforms like Valence. Valence is a fantastic platform that houses a lot of high-level executives that are Black, African, African-American.
Wow.
Being a member of the Gathering Spot in Atlanta. And I'm in talks with 3 PR women, 2 from South Africa and 1 from Kenya, in starting a hub called African Women Communicators.
Wow.
To just gather everyone together so that we can support each other in our different markets.
Right. And in fact, that's why, people say, why do you do Unveiling Africa? Why don't you do Unveiling Nigeria? And I said, no, that's too small. We are bigger than that. We have to. In fact, I want to say this, and I dare to say this, that I wanted to start it in Africa because I know Africa is the last frontier. And once we can explode it here, the explosion will be heard all around the world. And this could be a template for other continents, like unveiling Asia, unveiling America. In fact, a guy once approached me and said, you know what? You just gave me a thinking cap here. I think I should do unveiling America. I said, stop saying my template. But, you're right. It's such a small world now. It's a global village, so we all have to embrace one another, respect one another, and really look up to one another, because that's what it's all about.
And one of the other things I always tell anyone who is interested in building a brand is, there's no amount of public relations you can do if your brand does not have good service.
Okay. Okay.
Word of mouth is still strong.
Yes.
So if you're a brand, you better make sure that your delivery is good, your customer service is good, and that you have your customers in mind, and that you're actually building a brand that will add value or solve a problem before you even start to think about PR.
Wow.
Because you can be a brand, hire the best PR agency, and your product is good, and that's the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of that. And then of course consistency. With the whole pandemic, a lot of people started trying to pay attention to their personal brands. Mm-hmm. When you're Googled, what do you find? Mm-hmm. Are you on Wikipedia? What's your profile like? What is the news and the media saying about you?
Wow.
People have become extremely intentional about this. Mm-hmm. And so we decided to create a service offering, and we called it executive profiling. Because I wanted to target specifically people in the workspace. And you'd be shocked how many clients we have knocking on the doors, because, we have female bank MDs, we have all sorts of people, and they've never thought about documenting the good work.
Yeah.
And you know that the positions will end one day. You're not going to be the bank MD forever. Yeah. And after you go, what legacy have you left behind?
Precisely.
Did you do CSR? How did you impact the society outside of your work? So we're working with quite a few people to kind of bring this to life so that they can have a good digital footprint.
I hear you. And when you think about this, it's so natural, it's so basic, but people don't think about here. They think about out there, but it starts right here.
Yeah, because if you were approached by, or if you wanted to bid for anything, or if you wanted to partner with anybody that's not in your country and does not know you personally, what will they do? They'll
Google you. Yeah. I found that out. Yeah.
And what they find on number one on Google is you twerking. Then I'm not sure what
we're dealing with here. Yeah. True.
So it has to be intentional.
Yes, very, very. Now, also in one of your interviews, I know you did say, and the interviewer asked you, what's one of your biggest challenge in your business? And you had mentioned staffing. How interesting that you would do that, because it is a big challenge. Even when you work for people and people work under you, it's one of it takes 90% of your time if you have a challenging staff that would not work with you or cannot cooperate with you. So how have you been able to handle or grasp at this and get the best and keep the best?
One of the best things that I feel like I did in my life was actually work corporate America and corporate Canada. I always find a lot of young people saying, I want to own my business, and they have no job experience. And I say,
how are you going to do that?
You need to get job experience. You need to know what it is like on the other end before you can lead. I've been very intentional with my staffing. I graduated from the Nelly Kwanda Leadership Institute 2 years ago. I'm constantly doing self-development. My team is 99% women.
Oh, wow.
We have 2 men.
They're going to talk about you, Bukky.
They don't want a girl telling them what to do.
I know.
But I invest heavily in my staff. I've developed processes, and it took a lot of experience. And that's why I tell people sometimes, when things don't go well, it's not the end of the world, but you need to grasp that experience and know how to use it.
Build on it.
I've had to put processes in place, of course, to protect my company. I have a 2-week orientation process for anyone that comes in here. And I'm almost like a teacher. I teach my staff. I counsel my staff. Everyone has to do some form of personal development. So everyone takes different classes online, we come back together. And then I also made sure that my internal communication was good. So I have my newsletters that go out to my staff every week, talking about different topics. And I'm also a very kind of, I call myself an easy boss, but they might disagree.
I heard you say that too.
The work has to be good. I don't have to.
No nonsense, yeah or no.
What? No. Job has to be good.
Mhm.
But I have an open door policy, and I actually ask my staff for feedback on different things, so they end up feeling like Robert Taylor is their home.
Yeah.
And so that's how I've been able to be successful.
Yeah. They have to take ownership too.
Oh,
you know,
of course.
like it's one of the, it's part of, they're part of it, and it's theirs. You
Of
know?
course. And sometimes, you know, you would expect me to hire people that are fully well versed in comp. No, because I have a style that works, that has worked throughout the years, and I like to train. Anytime you see the job done by Robert Taylor, you know that Robert Taylor did it.
Oh wow!
There's no amount of school
that you go to
for the experiences that we've had.
So now in 2017, on one of your interviews too, you said one of your goals was to take Robert Taylor Company to to greater heights. I mean, you've said some of those things in your introduction, so I know that you're not just slipping around or, you know, slipping down in your bed without foresight or vision. So so now after you've done the crawl and the Lagos Today, what are you aspiring for? You know, what else can you do? I mean, the wall is you're at your feet.
First of all, I think that it was absolutely fantastic that, you know, the newspaper came in, because what that now does for me is that I'm able to influence news.
Yeah.
Very powerful. So having that affiliation with the company is absolutely fantastic. What is left for me to do? I want to connect. I want to connect with women like yourself.
Amen.
Women that are in my space. And I want to see how we can come together and form these stories.
I know.
You know, there's a lot of dialogue that needs to be had. And I'm also very interested in a lot of in bridging the gap between African Americans and Africans.
Africa, very key. Very key.
Very, very, it's very serious for me. When I started university at the age of 15, youngest student at
in class,
I received a lot of strength from a lot of African Americans. I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, which is an African American sorority that started in 1908. I'll be chartering the first chapter here in Nigeria. I'm currently the president of our institute here in Nigeria. And we will be hopefully starting a chapter here sometime next year. And
what's the criteria to be a part of that? Do you have to originally college
training, doing, you know, fantastic work and things like that. And if you notice, Ghana has started to do the year of the return.
Oh yes, yes.
A lot of things go on there, and people are becoming more enlightened. And I think that, you know, the history with Africa and African Americans has created such a huge divide. And I believe that divide was on purpose, because the power with us united would be undefeatable.
Formidable, yes.
So those are some of my experiences. If I move to the US today, I don't necessarily want to be known as Bukky the American. I want to be known as Bukky the African communicator, or the Nigerian entrepreneur in America. And see what I'm doing. So, you know, I think that all of us having our own identities are great, but I think that there's a lot of power in collaboration. And I think there's a lot we can do for Nigeria and for Africa as a whole.
Yeah, you're in the right direction. You certainly are. Certainly are. I'm kind of, this question is tricky because I notice a lot of people focus on the young, and which is right, which is good, you know, because that's our future. But also there are people like us who are no longer young. We're now getting there, but we're still very into life, you know, the new 60s, like the old 40, you know, and And people are, yeah. People are telling you, you're not dead yet. You're still alive. So
Right.
how do you inspire people like that in that age group to still believe in themselves and still, go out there and do what they would like to do? Is there any use? Is there potential in doing that? And what do you think? As a PR person, you might be having.
I think that a lot of people are hindered by stereotypes.
Exactly.
I'm still in my 30s.
And you've done so much. God bless you.
And when I do hit 40 or 50, I don't plan to necessarily slow down.
Mm-hmm.
If there's nowhere for me to go, I'm going to create something.
Pretty place, yes.
And I think that anybody can create anything. I think that with all the different ages and all the different strengths we have as a people, I don't think that the age thing should really be a factor. I think that regardless of how old you are, you can definitely start something. There's an audience for everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
There's definitely an audience for everybody. Most of the places that I'm featuring on Crawl are open to, various ages. And, Nigeria is a very special place. A lot of women who are single and over 50 kind of have it difficult as to where to go.
And meet good people.
And meet good people. And just enjoy a nice sit down and some, a good dinner or something. You shouldn't be locked up in your house waiting for the next wedding.
I know. I see that's all you're specializing over there.
So funny enough, last year I created a very small event, and it is called Dinner with Strangers.
Interesting.
Six people, invitation only, fully hosted by a restaurant and a champagne bar. And it brings together different people from different walks of life. And the whole idea is that you just don't know who's going to be sat next to you.
Wow.
And the idea is to make Lagos smaller with every dinner. So
I like that.
The first edition, a hit, second, a hit, fourth, fifth, and then now the is I can't, it's weird. So I've trademarked the event, and we're going to do Dinner with Strangers Accra, Dinner with Strangers Nairobi, Dinner with Strangers
I love that. I love that.
Small, intimate, intentional,
gatherings.
Connect people and see what happens from there.
That's really, really great. That is. Well, it's been so wonderful talking to you, and I just want to say on a lighter note, Unveiling Africa likes to reveal a lot about Africa because there is a disconnect, like you said, and I'm trying to bridge in my own little way, bring us all together so that people who don't know now, and it comes from the horse's mouth. I don't want to, say that everybody else is, this and the other, but this is what I know, and this is how I do what I do. So, but I say, I always ask my guests, what's your favorite Nigerian dish? Well, because you're from Nigeria. Or if you were from Ghana, I would ask you what's your favorite Ghanaian dish. I would learn something.
My mom lives in Ghana.
Oh, she does? Oh, wow. So maybe you'll give me 2 dishes then.
No, I don't know any of the Ghanaian ones. She would, but my favorite Nigerian dish would have to be egusi.
Woo! I thought you would say that.
I like egusi and any kind of swallow.
Wow.
And I'm also an advocate of pepper soup because I believe it's very medicinal.
Yes. Bukky, not to interrupt you though, you just think the same way I do, just a little quicker than I do, or more actionable. But I just did, while we were in quarantine, I just did 2 dishes. The first one was okra soup, and then the next one was egusi soup. And I said, I called it the king's meal because you can make egusi soup so rich and so enticing that even the king will want to taste or be a part of it. And then the next thing I said was, we should make some pepper soup. So I did a shrimp pepper soup. So they got, because egusi soup is already out, but pepper soup will be coming out in the next week or 2.
Lovely.
So I did.
I'm telling you, if I was sick, the first thing I would order is pepper soup. It is medicinal. My great-grandfather lived to 105, and all he ate was pepper soup.
it's not non-fattening. It's non-fattening. It's medicinal. It tastes good, and it's light.
Yeah.
It's
really good.
Can't go wrong with that. Now, I know you travel a lot, but I want to test you on this. We have 54 countries in Africa. I know my dream is to go to every single one of them and do everything in Africa. So you might come in there too. That's where we might even play a good role. Yes, travel across Africa.
Yay.
So what 2 countries, if we were to go today, let's say we'll start today. I said, Bukky, let's go on the air. What 2 countries, first of all, would you like to visit that you haven't been to, but you would like to visit, and why? In Africa.
Where have I not been to? There's a lot of countries. I've been to Egypt, I've been to Kenya, I've been to SA, I've been to Ghana. I've been to everywhere. I'd want to go to Uganda.
Oh, why? Why would you want to go to Uganda? I have a good friend from Uganda.
You know what? I just remember having a lot of friends from Uganda from college, and they were just the best people ever, and so down to earth. Yes. So I would definitely like to go to Uganda. Also, I'm very interested in their fabric as well. They do a lot of really good fabric, so that would be definitely somewhere that I would like to visit. And then number 2, can we include Jamaica in all of this?
I mean, I love Jamaica. I've been there.
I love the Caribbean.
Jamaica, and I said, okay.
I love the Caribbean, but let me not be greedy, because I've been to Jamaica quite a bit. Okay. It's one of my favorite places to visit.
Oh, we should do a trip there too.
I think my next place would be Morocco.
That's a good place. Why?
We keep having like all these spa things from Morocco. So
you want
to see what kind of spa stuff. They have all these. There's always this Moroccan thing for the skin, this, and Moroccan this one massage this. So there's something that they're doing there that has to do with wellness, tranquility, and I want to rest.
I hear you. You deserve it. That sounds good. That's a first actually on my show. Morocco's the no, I don't think I've gone to Morocco. Yeah, and I don't think I've gone to Uganda either. Yeah, I get Kenya, I get Egypt, I get South Africa, I get Ghana, I get Sierra Leone, I think I've gone to Senegal.
Oh, I was in Sierra Leone. When was I in Sierra Leone? Was it this year or last year? I think maybe late last year. It is the most amazing place to visit.
Wow.
They have the strongest women who are so industrious. I was welcomed so beautifully. Even the boat ride to actually get to Sierra Leone, it was lovely.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
Well, the women there are phenomenal. My Sierra Leone sisters took the boat, entered Freetown. It was absolutely lovely, and I had a great time. I learned so much. I met women who are the only woman in the trade something industry, or this the hugest things, and I was just like, wow. You guys are all so inspired. Yeah. And I was received so well with so much love.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
Great. Yeah, Sierra Leone women are lovely.
Very good, very good. I like to hear that. I'm glad you threw that in.
Something called cassava leaf, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best.
Really? Wow. Ooh. Yeah, because when I did the interview, some people from Sierra Leone, and they told me cassava leaf. I said, "What's cassava leaf?" And they said it's really good. And I said, "I'll try that sometime."
Cassava leaf over some of our stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, it's lovely. Wow. Yeah, no, they do a good job. They're good cooks.
Wow. Yeah. Great. So on my last note, and you touched on it a little bit. You said legacy. What's your legacy now? What would you like to be remembered by 100 years from now, when people are going through annals or journals of PR? They're gonna say Bukky did this and what. Tell us what you.
Every time I see myself way older, I always imagine what I would be doing, and I see myself being a guest lecturer at universities, speaking to students. I don't think I'm ever going to be bored, with my profession. I think I'm going to write books, and I think I'm going to work with a lot of students. I think I will most likely be invited to consult for different government and nonprofit in the future, because at the end of the day, the men in my generation are our future leaders. And I've positioned myself that if they were ever to think about comms, they would most likely think about me and some of the great other people that do fantastic work here. So I'm very, very excited about the future. In terms of a legacy, I just want to be remembered as a woman that worked really hard, a woman that actually loved her country, a woman who was passionate about connecting people and bringing about world peace, and a woman who used her profession to advocate for different causes. I mean, we just launched something with my company. It's called RTM Hearts. Buzzworthy notes for heart related. Like when I mean hearts, like non-profit, like doing it from the heart. So what that is that every year we're going to take 2 non-profit and handle their communications for free, so that we can help them communicate their plights, help them fundraise and do different things. And we've already started. We're already supporting quite a few. We worked with Cheche Yara, which is our first child sexual violence platform. We worked with WARIF, Women Against Women at Risk International Foundation. And we've done quite a few things. So Slum to Schools we recently worked with, and that was the auto Random I was talking about, that launched virtual learning space. And that's my way of giving back. When people ask me what can I give back,
yes.
I can use my company and support some of these organizations to create awareness so that people know that these organizations are there. So that's how I kind of want to be remembered.
Yeah, and that's what a way to end this conversation or this interview, because you really put the L in love and giving to the world, and as well as making yourself, empowering yourself and others. So I say this to say that if we have more people like you, especially on our continent, I'm sure we'll so mesmerize the world that everyone will be going back to Africa like you did, instead of coming out of Africa, And you inspire people like us too to begin to venture to come back home, because because you always see this negativity.
But what? I think that even if people were not going to physically come back home,
right?
Look at this interview now, for example. For me, you're connecting with this space and you're doing stuff here. If we had 2 Nigerian doctors who were going to work with other doctors via Zoom, and when they're doing emergency surgeries, you're contributing.
Yes. I like that you said that.
Oh yeah.
I like that you said that.
Have digital opportunity, we can connect.
Yes.
So I just wish a lot of people would just look here and see how we can empower people and make this space a great.
Right. But I thank you. I thank you so much. I thank you so much. And I really will hold you on to us working together, collaborating. Because I think we can do some powerful things together, especially with my platform as well. Yeah, and don't be a stranger. Keep in touch. And thank you so much for the connection. And keep on connecting the world, because you make it look good. Thank you so much. And have a wonderful evening. Thanks for taking time off your busy schedule and connecting and collaborating with Unveiling Africa.
Thank
we love you. Bye. Peace out.
Bye.